Hi, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Chetan Pudar.
And where do you stay?
I stay at Andheri, Lokhandwala. It's very close to where my kids go for judo.
Okay.
Right.
So, how old is your child?
I've got two children. One of them is 8 years of age. The second one is 10 years of age.
Okay.
One is in the second standard. One is in the fourth standard.
Okay. So, what kind of institutes were you looking out for them?
I generally look out for things which I can develop my kids. On a mental level, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on an educational level, all four of these levels. I was also looking at getting them involved with an activity. I was looking at getting them involved with a person, because activity really depends on the kind of person you associate with, to make sure that they get interested and it becomes a lifestyle.
Okay.
So I do look out constantly for things which can develop students or my kids at multiple levels, and but very specifically I was looking at something which could help them to make a lifestyle for them, and I thought the best way to do this is to put them into a martial arts, because I have been a martial artist earlier, so I know the kind of discipline, the kind of pushing yourself to the limit, the kind of emotional edge which you get in life from learning about martial arts.
Okay.
So I had basically two choices, like every parent in Bombay. One is karate, taekwondo or judo. So karate and taekwondo is more of aggressive arts. Judo is more of defensive.
Okay.
And from my experience, I have seen that because I have been into these fields earlier, I've seen that judo is something which is a lot more, has a slight edge over karate, and again, arguably would have a slight edge over karate and taekwondo, because judo is something which kind of registers on a subconscious mind. So once you learn a judo, it is something which is like cycling. Once you learn how to cycle, you can't forget it. Once you learn how to swim, you can't forget.
Yeah.
So once you learn judo, then it registers at the back of your mind. So according to me, it is always a good idea for two reasons. One, that it builds discipline into you. It is also a defensive art, not an aggressive art. So you kind of subdue yourself. It's a defensive art. It is also an art which is called as the gentleman's way. So I do wanted to make my children slightly bit finer, while giving them an edge. Maybe if they are caught on a wrong foot in Bombay on a street fight, or they have they have a slightly edge over their opponents, even in a general life. So the way I was going about it is I was trying to find out places where I could put my kids into judo, and I shortlisted 2 or 3 places. Okay. And then the most important thing was to go and meet up with the instructors, because I really wanted to know what is the culture island there. I am not sending my kids to learn judo. I'm sending my kids to learn a lot more other things along with judo. So things like discipline, things like self-control, things like controlled aggression, things like being in the mindset of learning. Learning itself is a mindset. So I wanted to get them into that groove, and I came down to Suresh's class, Suresh Kanojia's class, and I met up with him. I had a chat with him. I had a good 1-hour chat with him, because I wanted to understand whether is there a fitment between what my kids are, who I am, and what Suresh is. Yeah, which means I did have a chat with him. I tried to understand, first of all, whether my kids can be coached by him. Now again, there is a big difference between coaching and teaching. Teaching is where students go to a student, they teach and they go out. Coaching is where a mentor actually takes it upon him to develop the students, and that is what I found in Suresh. I found that he is the kind of person who will personally try to find out the personalities of every student and work upon those personalities so that each of them get coached in a different manner. Yeah. So while I was speaking to him, I realized that he's a guy who's suitable for me as a parent, as somebody who wants to push my kids into the next level, and he would be able to help me, or would be an instrument in helping me pushing it to the next level. So I decided to put them inside the class, and I think that was one of the best decisions which I took, because I really got what I wanted. One is that I have a peace of mind saying that if my kids are going to go to his coaching classes, then they are going to learn the things which I wanted them to learn. There is certain angling which I wanted to give to them, which they are going to learn. So one is the trust factor, obviously, but then again, the trust is very mutual. So that is not something which I wanted to consider. But what I did saw it that he actually takes time and energy and thought process behind developing every kid. Now that is something which really made a lot of difference to me deciding to put them into his classes.
Okay.
And I'm extremely happy. So my kids have been here for almost a year and a half, and I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely satisfied with the decision. So I did not start saying that I want to go to Suresh Kanojia. I started saying that I wanted to teach my kids, get it down to judo, then get it down to different academies, and finally select Suresh Kanojia. So it was my choosing process, and I think it's working brilliantly for me.
Okay.
And I would like to tell you that if you are a parent who is a thoughtful parent, who is a thought-oriented parent, who really wants to work on his kids to give them an edge which they would need in life, including things like getting out of mess on the street, or getting the emotional edge, or physical edge, or emotional edge, or psychological edge, this is a great place for your students or parents to get their kids here. What I would suggest is, without having any bias, and this is again I'm speaking to the parents, please get your kids over here, come down, have a chat with Suresh, have an open chat with Suresh, figure out whether this place is for you. And I pretty much bet my top dollar that you would want to be associated with him.
Okay.
Not only as a judo coach, but otherwise in life. Because the way I differentiate people there are always two different types of people. One is a person who is negative, and one is a person who is positive. Somebody who takes energy out of you, somebody puts energy. And the first 2 minutes you will realize that Suresh actually does give you a lot of energy, and you would want to be associated with him. So that this is apart from judo.
Okay. So, and you think anything would be better with Suresh Kanojia's academy?
I really don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think the only thing which could be better is spending more time with him. Which means if you start with day 0 and if you go towards 1 year, then you are going to wonder as to why did not I start earlier.
Okay.
So if I have to rate him on 0 to 1, I'm going to give him 5.5 or maybe 10. Honestly.
Okay. So how likely are you to recommend Suresh Kanojia's institute?
No, I am already recommending for last 10 minutes.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, what number would you give?
I said 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Alright, thanks.